It's an interesting question. I think that first and foremost, I'm fortunate to have the chance to work with some of the best and brightest minds, I think, in the world. I think I also have the ability, and I feel very blessed to work at an organization that believes in kind of driving innovation, and provides an opportunity for me to help move that along. I have a spectacular team. I think what we've done at PepsiCo as a whole, and I think we have some, again, the best and brightest minds in digital working with us and for us. What we've been able to do is kind of create new models of how do you rethink digital, whether it's Gatorade, Mission Control from an engagement standpoint, whether it's PepsiCo 10 in terms of how do you operationalize digital innovation inside of an organization, or whether it's kind of digital fitness. How do you create a new model for educating and building digital competency within inside a global organization that actually looks at moving the organization to this kind of new digital, competent level across everything from supply chain to sales. The good thing is that I have a chance to work at PepsiCo, and we have, again, I think, the best brands in the world, and I always feel very obligated to remind myself that these are love marks and heritage brands, Quaker Oats or Life cereal or Gatorade, Frito-Lay, or the Frito-Lay brands, Doritos, Tostitos, and then you have all the beverages that we know and love. So I think it's special to be able to work across brand portfolio that is so diverse, and then you have all the stuff we're doing on the nutrition side. So it's very difficult for me to say which one I love most, but I will say that I love all of the work that we're doing across all of our brands, and I think that what's interesting is the uniqueness in terms of integrating digital innovation across all of the work is something really special. So.
Cool. Okay, we are here at the Digital Fund.
I think everybody is facing the same thing. How do we create cultures that don't have fear of innovation in it, right? So how do we continue to, but I think part of that is answered by, actually creating operationalize ways to take risks inside of the space. And so I think that came out. I think the other big thing is yes, there's a lot of knowledge gaps. So how do you close the knowledge gaps? And then on the flip side, there is, for the right reasons, there's a lot of protections set around organizations, but those protections can slow down a process. And so how do you create ways to make sure that you can speed the process so that you can actually compete, at the pace of digital right now? But more importantly, I think that, look, I talk a lot about organizations. Society's approaching 100% digital. At the end of the day, we are all going to be connected. Every single thing we do is going to be connected and tracked, and you name it, all these things. But most organizations flatlined at some point. And so there is a gap between where organizations are and where society is. And the simple way to, if you don't believe me, just ask yourself, do you have a better browser version at home than you do at work? And most people all raise their hand. Well, that's crazy because you don't spend nearly as much money as the company you work for trying to build things that should be shown on browsers. And so there's a big issue where we have to figure out how come organizations are stagnant and how do we identify ways to break through those barriers and ultimately close that gap. And so digital fitness is a way to continue to close that organizational gap that exists between where orgs are and where society is. I am most excited about the integration between, so I've been talking about shifting from impressions to connections. How do we use our scaled platforms to drive to deeper connections? So I'm most excited in 2012 about the work that we're doing, not just using TV to drive to digital or package to drive to digital, but creating unique connected experiences that drive from scaled platforms into connected platforms. So super excited about that. And again, I truly believe there's probably going to become a new renaissance, creative renaissance, which will be about how do you integrate these connected experiences into every single messaging, every single piece of marketing that you're putting out into the marketplace. And I'm super excited about that.